We've each experienced instances of remorse following an online transaction. I'm yet to fathom my rationale behind acquiring those origami rocks, but occasionally, returning items becomes necessary. Thankfully, my purchasing blunders are dwarfed by the predicaments faced by these online buyers. Get ready to be astounded by the tales of these individuals who harbor profound regrets about their online shopping endeavors. Be careful buying things off a stranger on Facebook, or you may end up like this guy who thought they got a good deal on a new flat-screen TV. It was certainly flat, but it just wasn't a screen. I wonder if that board is standard HD or 4K Ultra. Ordering clothes online is tough. Will it fit right when I wear it? Will it look like it did on that perfect model? For one online buyer, the answer to that question was a resounding no. Let's hope she ordered from someplace with a good return. Policy size is really tough to gauge when you look at an online item set against a stark white background with nothing for scale. This shopper bought what they thought was a regular armchair, apparently not noticing the word boys in the title. Of course, boys could mean teenagers, but in this case it apparently meant toddlers. Here's another item that falls under the category of items ordered online or sometimes as small as they appear on your phone. This scale arrived and a buyer realized it was too small to weigh most objects on. Now, if you had two of these, you can make a nice pair of earrings. On the other hand, sometimes clothing items are much bigger than they look online. This shopper was even going by the measurements, a 32-inch inseam. Along the way, however, these jeans picked up a lot more length somewhere. I'm sure this paddling pool is ideal for someone, maybe a person trying to teach their Chihuahua puppy to do the doggy paddle, for example. Unfortunately, the person who ordered this one was hoping to use it for a human child. The shopper's wife has Stu noted the pool seemed really cheap and she was apparently right on the money. When it comes to baked goods that didn't live up to their online picture, this one really takes the cake. The buyer wanted a Minnie Mouse cake for their niece, and the one on the left looks great. Unfortunately, the one on the right had the buyer saying, "Oh rats," about that online purchase. This person had a great idea for their sister's Mother's Day gift pillow with pictures of her two favorite sons. What could go wrong? Well, this is exactly what a small picture of loved one's screen printed onto a pillow is one thing. Turning a whole head into a pillow, that's just creepy. Here's another one for the miniature collection. If I was ordering a desk lamp to rebuy, I think I'd want it big enough to illuminate more than one word at a time. This would be a great ladle for a really big pot of soup, something industrial scale. I honestly don't know what you could do with this larger-than-life label at home other than send it back. What am I supposed to cut with this cutting board? Slice some bread to eat by the light of that desk lamp. Somehow this flower arrangement looked so different online. The bouquet on the right is a blooming disaster. This Princess Leia costume looks more like a costume for Casper, the friendly ghost. What happened to the belt and tight fit? Looks like bedsheets would have done a better job. This shopper must have been expecting a dress, but she got a shirt instead. They got the pattern they wanted at least. Looks like the fashion stock got seriously mixed up here. These pots and pans look like something a Cabbage Patch doll would use to make lunch. What even is the purpose of these? I can understand there are lots of dollhouse items out there, but these are just too large for that, but too small for normal use. This flower arrangement in the shape of a dog's head is really cute. Too bad the reality looks like the dog's head after being run over by a car. It's doggone awful. These pants with the slit down the legs look edgy and cool in their online ad. Sadly, the shopper bought them, discovered that when the wear isn't standing, they just turn into a really weird pair of underpants. This is a toy you wouldn't give any child unless you tried scaring them. The toy on the left looks like a fun little stuffed bird. The toy on the right looks like Mr. Potato Head is a bird, but put together by someone playing pin the tail on the not Mr. Potato Head. Fly away from this disaster of a child's gift. These Catwoman stockings look great on the model. On the buyer, they look more like parachute pants cut off just below the knee or bin bags. When shopping online, it's really important to make sure the quantity you ordered is correct. This shopper thought they were ordering 8 carrots. Turns out they missed a fine print and ended up with 8 bags of carrots. Where's Bugs Bunny when you need them to help with this? This went to one sad kid on Christmas morning. His mom thought she was buying him the gumball machine he wanted, and she did get a gumball machine, just a really tiny one. If the little guy cries when he sees this on Christmas morning, maybe she can order the world's smallest violin to go with it. Sometimes she can add instructions with an online order, which is great if the gift is a surprise or supplies for a surprise party. Unfortunately, you can't control whether your super secret instructions get printed on the package itself. These added as rip-offs running shoes might look like originals at a certain angle in their online picture. But in reality, they look like those slippers your grandma Crow shaped for your last birthday. These were advertised as gemstones, but mostly they're just stones. Very sparkly stones. You wouldn't buy them in real life, but with the internet you can easily mislead customers. People come in all shapes and sizes, but should face masks do the same? This manufacturer of this face mask clearly thought so, but they sized it appropriately for a doll rather than a human. This cat deeply regrets that its owner bought a scratching post online without confirming the dimensions. What's that? For the mice to scratch while the cat stalks them. This shopper bought some hiking boots and got a pair of coach heels. Still, at least the buyer is making the most of the nice legs. Here we have another child's chair. Someone thought was adult-sized. In fact, there's a whole room full of them. The buyer didn't realize they were purchasing all these chairs from an elementary school. At least he can now open a kid's restaurant. This shopper ordered some tights online, maybe for himself or his girlfriend, but that's irrelevant. They were clearly made for embryo-sized humans. At least he now has appropriate toe wear. These Jordans looked a lot different online, but when the buyer received them, they noticed the figure in the logo had an ass crack. Hopefully, they were able to appreciate the humor in this knockoff fail and up laughing. This Spider-Man wannabe ordered an XL-sized costume. Maybe it was an XL children's costume. I don't know how they managed to make the mouse so baggy and the shirt so tight, but it's safe to say vigilantes won't be taking you seriously in this one. Another customer thought they'd buy an Apple Watch online. They got one. All right, a watch with an apple-shaped screen and the words "I watch" and "iPhone watch" stamped onto it. Why'd even bother creating such a bad, misleading product, knowing they'll just send it back? Let's hope he got the refund. This Christmas tree looked a whole lot more festive online. In reality, it looks malnourished and unable to support a few lightweight ornaments. I hated when I order a tank top and get a spaghetti strap mini dress. Unfortunately, that's what happened to the shopper. He noted that while it wasn't quite what he wanted, it did make his posterior look plump. This parent thought they were viewing a kid demonstrating how much he enjoyed this dinosaur-shaped pillowcase. But when it showed up, they realized the kid's head was part of the pillowcase too, and it wasn't the Dino pillowcase they ordered. It's misleading, but in a smart way. You've got to admit and take this literally history. One eBay seller decided to sell 50 Shades of Grey. Then they sent the purchaser a sheet of paper with 50 Shades of Grey printed on it. Yeah, I'm sure that's what the buyer had in mind when ordering, not when buying a punching bag. It's a good idea to keep in mind. This is something you'll be pommeling repeatedly, so you might not want to go with the cheapest one. Sadly, one online shopper learned that lesson after ordering a $20 punching bag online and promptly cracked it open like a pinata. I bet they were so mad they needed another punching bag. This shopper thought he was getting a pair of Yeezys. Instead, he got a life-size bodysuit that vaguely resembles the gray patterns of Yeezys. There's an online purchase to kick to the curb. I have to give this 1 point for honesty. Clearly the maker of this t-shirt couldn't be trusted to remember what Dr. Pepper's iconic motto was. They did a good job letting the end user know they really couldn't trust this seller. Objects on t-shirts are smaller than they appear after you order the shirt. This guy needed a magnifying glass even to find the graphic printed on his shirt. When ordering jewelry online, it's important to make sure it's human-sized and not barber-sized. This ring is so small, even Gollum wouldn't have chased it. So, what online buying disasters have happened to you? Let me know in the comments section down below, and thanks for watching.